All right. Tuesday, preview for event day. First, we'll go over new information. So this one isn't going to really pertain to all of us. Dragoon updates. A lot of us will now be able to power up our Dragoons. Or earn Dragoons, sorry. Dragoons will now be easier to evolve. Yeah, we'll see. Killer Guide. So, Arcane and Chaotic. Chaotic will be the medium effective. Arcane's the most effective. And then here is a official guide that they finally gave out about what beast immortals and nobles are going to be strong against. So basically they finally given a list, which I want a screenshot of this, I keep forgetting, of what is going to be strong against what. So basically when you see the enemy type, for a good example, a couple of us have been trying to take on Entropy. Entropy is a creature. Beast. Beast is what takes on creature. I will get to that here shortly. Next up is Celebration Week 2. I'm not exactly for sure how this is. Keep your Ultra Rares and MCs. So they're going to continue to do the bonus runes on Tier 1 and 2 in the Master Ultra Pack. You'll also keep all copies of the Master Collection Ultra Rares when you forge the Ultimate form. So if that's the case, wait to see how this one works. I'm going to hold off on this one because I want to see how this is going to pan out. I'm not getting my hopes up. Ascended Dragoons. So now you're going to be able to ascend the Dragoons like Wardens. I'm having a hard enough time getting the damn things up to $6, let alone ascend the damn thing. And then Katana Runes with the Ultimate Leaderboard. I'm sure it might be available in other things. So we'll start with the pack. So first and foremost, we'll start down here with the cards you can obtain. As you can see, I have all of them. Actually, let's rephrase this. I do not have Silverhoof anymore, and I do not have the Cannibal God anymore. But I've had them before. And so this little jewel right here is the only one I still have. So I'm wondering if they're starting to go back into your collection, and if you've ever had them before, they're giving them to you. So we'll start from top to the bottom and show what they're worth. This one becomes immune to enemy damage for 1 turn. Charge rate 9 gems, cooldown 9. If I remember correctly, it goes from a charge rate 9 to a cooldown of, I think it's 6 when it's maxed out. If you have a Fire Spirit relic, this will help. Dispels Chaos. Chaos I don't think was on any of the lists, so it's not a big deal. Not real fond of this card. In fact, there's only one card in that entire deck that I've ever seen, that I've ever had, that I like. This little jewel, well, let's just do it this way because this is easier. Fire Generation 2. She's Mystic, because I still have this full deck. Slayer. And there she is. So, fully maxed out, she starts or increases a gem fall by 40 gems, causing the next 40 gems to draw have an extremely high chance of being fire gems for 1 turn. Charge rate 9, cooldown 3. If a gem fall is active, when fire gems are matched, increases attack of all mystic heroes by 1% per 5 fire gem fall. Dispels might. Gem fall decks are fun. They're neat and they're cool. This is a complete deck, except that I awakened this card too many times. They're cool and all, but at the same time, they are extremely time consuming, and in a Slayer event, not recommended. Not recommended at all. But she is a Gen 2 card versus a Gen 1 card, so she is more powerful. She is giving a 10 times Slayer bonus, so she will hit harder. She's not a bad card in any way, shape, or form. Just not what I would recommend for an event with these new Ultra forms, not for as fast as everything's going. If anything, this is the one I would recommend, is Silver Hoof. Destroys 5 non-fire gems plus 1 for every stack of Fable Intensity. And if Hearts of Flames is active, creates 2 fire gem 3s. Just the fact that it destroys 5 non-fire gems is pretty neat. I'm trying to remember what... I cannot remember what Silverhoof's twin is. It's not Hannibal. I cannot remember what the Ultra Rare is. But the Ultra Rare is the one that creates that that Heart of Flame and will allow Power Gem 3s. So by using the two together, it'd be pretty nice. Honestly, this would be the only one that I would recommend even thinking about using. Maybe her, but I don't know. It's a toss-up at this point in time. So let's start with what we know. So what I've noticed is that fire decks are extremely powerful, to the point of I cannot believe how powerful these decks have gotten. So, battle skill applied track to 3 fire heroes. Track creates 5 fire gems the next time you are hit by an enemy and lasts 1 turn. So passive is tracked. When hit by an enemy, also creates 5 fire gems. Cooldown of 1. So just passively, every time you get hit, this thing's going to create 5 regular fire gems. And then if you turn the battle skill on and you get hit, that's going to be 10. I expect this to probably go up to, I don't know, probably 6 or 7. Of course, passively, this one will increase Fire Slayer intensity by, or Slayer skill points by 10 when it's at 6 stars every time it attacks. This one dispels poison. Poison's a pain in the ass. So definitely worth having a couple of these cards. Next, we'll go with the event card. The event card is, as you notice, they're all Dren. No fire Dren relics here. Kind of stuck on that one. Creates 4 fire power gem 1s. If there are 4 or more Power Gem 4s on the board, will heal for 3,000% recovery. Charge rate of 9 gems, cooldown of 5. Well, first of all, 3,000% recovery is extremely high amounts of healing. Dispels blind. It's kind of cool. Blind is a bitch. Doesn't hurt you, but makes things very, very difficult. So this is going to be a power gem spawner. As you notice, this one is not empowered to do the skills that the Ultra Rare and the Master Collection card does, like the last event does. I think that was specific to that one event to give you that 200% damage boost for that card. It's not here. I don't know if they're going to turn it on later or what, but we'll see. So, Power Gem 4s will cause healing. So then we'll go to the Master Collection card. So the Master Collection card, well, looky there, creates 4 Power Gem 4s. If there are 5 or more Power Gem 4s on the board, we'll heal for 3,000% recovery. So again, this is another healer, but you have to have more Power Gem 4s on the board. If there are 8 or more Fire Power Gems on the board, increases Fire Slayer hero attack by 30%. You got to have a full 300 skill points to do this. This is going to be an Arcane Killer. And this one will also Dispel Blind. So if you have both of them, you've got 2 cards that Dispel Blind. There's another thing about this deck I'm really starting to like, and we'll show here in a few minutes. Next is the Ultra Rare. Ultra Rare applies a Mystic Maul up to 3 Fire Slayer heroes at a rate of 1+1 per 150 skill points. So you're going to have 300 skill points. It's going to put Mystic Maul on 3 skill points. Mystic Maul creates 2 Power Gem 2s. The next turn you are hit by an enemy and lasts for 1 turn. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to activate your support cards. You're going to want to activate this card to create as many gems as possible, and then you'll start activating your Power Gem 4s to get your healing ability. This one dispels armor. And once per turn when hit by an enemy, this hero creates 2 Fire Power Gem 2s and dispels 1 enemy debuff. So, a buff is something that the enemy puts on itself. A debuff is something that is put on you. So every time if you get blind put on you for any reason, when you get hit, she's going to remove blind, or will remove blind off of one of your heroes if it doesn't get dispelled. You got the possibility of having 2 cards that'll dispel blind. This one dispels armor. Armor is a buff that the enemy puts on. If you don't get this card, you have 2 options: the Baleful Bride and the specials. The Baleful Bride or the Pumpkin Queen. So the Baleful Bride is the Ultra Rare. Will spawn gems and Power Gems every 2 turns. 6 Fire Gems and 4 Power Gem 1s every 2 turns. And heals for 600% recovery and dispels all buffs. Armor, Thorns, Fear, Dodge, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else off the top of my head. Those are all buffs that an enemy can put on itself. Hit this card, boom, goes away automatically. Guaranteed to never miss. The Pumpkin Queen, which is the regular support card, does the exact same thing, except she heals for 300% instead of 600. Again, I always miss that. If a buff is dispelled, it automatically heals again. So this would heal for 600% if you dispel a buff. The other one would heal for 1,200% if you dispel a buff. This one creates 4 Fire Gems and 1 Power Gem 1 every 2 turns. So here's a healer and a dispeller if you do not get the Ultra Rare to help you through battles. Nice cards to have. And now we're going to skip that one for first. I'm going to be dirty this time. All right. Real Dr. Green, you're the only one that can forge this one that I know of. So, unlike the last event, it's still going to create 8 Fire Power Gem 4s. Holy crap. Thank you, Jesus. And it's still only going to cost 50 skill points. Thank you. Appreciate that. Will attack for 148,000%. I really wish they'd get rid of the nuke damage, but whatever. Will still heal for 1% of the amount of the attack. So, again, you have another healer here. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. Battle skill is going to be Ultimate Chaotic Killer. So, go back to that sheet and it'll tell you what it kills. 150 skill points. We'll put the Ultimate Fire Gem on there. Like all the other ones, this one will increase Fire Slayer skill points by 10 every time it attacks. Dispels Drain, so it kept the Master Collection card and got rid of the Ultra Rares, which is, I think, pretty common anymore. If I remember correctly, you were Drain. Yep. And then you were, I think, Blind. Yep, you were Blind. So, it's going to do plenty of stuff. It's going to heal, do a little bit of nuke damage. Based off the nuke damage, will heal, and still creates 8 Power Gem 4s. Bam. So, there's what you need to get all your healing, your maximum healing out of your other cards. And even if you just have this card, it's still going to produce 8 Power Gem 4s. So you're still going to get all those Power Gem 4s. It's still worth it. So that will definitely be in my deck. No questions asked. All right. This is the one I'm really, really looking forward to. Applies Mystic Maul up to free Fire Slayer heroes at a rate of 1+1 per 150 skill points. It will create 2 Fire Power Gem 4s and dispel 1 enemy debuff the next time you are hit by an enemy and lasts 1 turn. On the next turn that it begins, it will create 4 Power Gem 4s. There's 6 right there. So basically, you get hit, you'll create 2 Power Gem 4s, make a stupid match, and then when you get hit again, or you need to learn how to read a little better. So you're going to activate it, create 2 Power Gem 4s, put a Mystic Maul on, make a stupid match, and then when you get hit again, you're going to create 4 more Power Gem 4s. And since there are going to be a total of 6 on the board, you're going to heal for 300% recovery. Badass. Every time you get hit by an enemy, you're going to create 2 Fire Power Gem 4s and dispel 1 enemy debuff. Cooldown 1 turn. Awesome. If there are 8 or more Fire Power Gems on the board, you will increase Fire Slayer attack by up to 30%. You're not going to notice it that much. Create the Ultimate Fire Gem. Arcane. Of course, you're going to do your passive, which is always cool. And this is the part that I think is the most badass in the world. You are going to keep both skills. So you're going to both be removing blind and armor. Finally, you're going to be able to continue to do what the Ultra Rare is supposed to do and what the Master Collection card can do. That is the most awesome thing I think I've seen yet. That is freaking awesome. Definitely worth its time. So if you notice, you see check marks versus numbers. Does that mean you can't get doubles? Why, no. It doesn't. Trust me, you can get doubles, and plenty of them. You just have to click on it to see how many you got. So this deck is going to produce a dick ton of gems with use of the other either Master Collection card or Ultimate Form. Between the 8 power gems you're going to produce there, the 4 plus 2 off of that one if you can get it to work, plus the support, the event card, you should have at least 3/4 of your board completely full of power gems. This is going to be very similar to what the blue deck was. Very similar to what the blue deck was. Because every time you're hit, you're going to create gems. It's just, this thing's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be very entertaining to see how well this works. So, yeah, there you go. That's your event setup. Oh, yeah. So, what was it? Was going to go over a few other things. So, this is going to be chaotic, if I was correct. Chaotic. So, Generation 3. And we're going to go with no filter. And we're going to go with no filter. And we're going to go with no filter. Alright. Excuse the slow phone. So we'll start with chaotic. Bear with me while I go through these real quick. Okay, so chaotic is immortal, arcane. You were noble. You're chaotic then. Chaotic. So right here you have a chaotic killer. This is going to be strong against chaotic bosses. 400% increase while chaotic enemies are present. Since you're going to be going up against water enemies, I don't know how well this is going to work. But I'm definitely going to try this since I already have a deck that has a chaotic killer on it. Because I can't create that card. And then the other one was Beast. So everyone's trying to kill Entropy. Well, here we go. See if I can get this right. Beast Killer. Kind of sucks it's dark against dark, but there's Beast right there. That's going to be strong against Entropy. And then the other one is right here. Beast Killer. He's going to be strong against Entropy. As time goes on, these are going to be easier to tell which ones will go up against what legend bosses. But as of right now, it's hard to completely tell. So, that's your event preview. Again, any questions, please let me know. And I wish everyone the best of luck. All right.